Okay, welcome back to the channel. And apparently, I'm doing my internship on React Native, and I'm trying to make a video on React Native so you can retain the most more information from my video. So I think I'm quite capable to educate you about the React Native. So I think I'll do my best for it so that you can retain much more information about this. So if you have any issue also, then you can directly comment on the comment section. So I'll hope I will do my best for all of you. And if you have any feedback also, your feedback will be accepted because I'm doing my internship and currently developing one application. Okay, so after some days, I'll show you my fully deployed application also. So at first, I'll just teach you about the some sort of the React Native component, like what and why React Native is popular, why another programming language like the Swift or any sort of Java, then other programming language, mainly for the mobile application, .NET also, .NET mainly, rather than .NET Java and Swift, or that's sort of the thing. Why React Native? Then why after React Native, I'll try you to demonstrate you about the Flutter also. So let's begin. At first, I think all of you are familiar with the React Native and how and which company has developed the React Native. Okay. Okay, now at first I'd like to show you about this. React Native is an open source framework created by the Meta Facebook. It is just the JavaScript framework, okay? React, okay, mainly React we call JavaScript framework that allows us to build the native iOS and Android application. Means we can build the native iOS and Android application just using JavaScript and React on only programming language, unlike the Flutter. Flutter, I said you about the Flutter. Unlike that, I think unlike the Swift, you need the iOS for so that's the thing isn't required. By using the JavaScript and the React, we can just develop the cross-platform Android application for iOS and Android also. So here, like instead of writing the separate kind of code base for iOS and Android, we can use React Native for writing the code base in JavaScript under uh, it, and it can translate the component into the native UI element. Also means that just written in the code in this, it can translate the component into the UI element also. So what is generally on recap? What is generally a React Native? Generally, React Native is open source. Means open source means that you can edit, modify source code, and source code is available. Just like open source means, I think DeepSeek. Just take an example of DeepSeek also. So it's a code base, or it's a code is available on any sort of the repository. So you can edit and modify if you have good knowledge about the programming and coding. Both are required. And so it helps to build the iOS and Android app using the JavaScript and React. So unlike I think you have heard about the DOM, document object DOM also. So unlike the React, mainly React is only used for web, which manipulate the DOM, but React Native try to interact directly. I think you have heard about the API also. So API with platform native API also. So API means that connecting that sort of the thing. Access point interface, I think, is full form. Okay. So here mainly concept. Okay, here React Web means this is based on the web-based application, like output browser element like a div. Spam means, I think you are familiar with the div and spam. Just separating the text also. So that's sort of the thing. But on native view, you can use UI view in iOS and Android dot view on Android. Just let me share you one code base here. I'll share you that view. Admin here, just let me see that. Let me try to demonstrate you the view. Okay, so here you can see React Native. Okay, now here, okay, I'll show you about this output like a span div. Okay, here, wait for a while. I'll show you that code so you can clearly understand and so you can do the much more you can understand and know the thing what you really wants to know. Okay, so here container mainly on React we use a div. Okay, so here as I have already said you about this also mainly on React container here div container, but here is view. I think I already showcase you about this also just like this. Here is view container. Okay, now here is view container. Then here on React we generally use div. Okay, so output generally div and generally on React we use HTML element like div stem, but on React it is UI view. Okay, that Android dot view also this is on Android UI dot UI view on iOS. Okay, another thing is about this. Just text like here when we really need to write a paragraph, then we use to p tag, then H1 tag means H1 that's hey, paragraph the text H1. Okay, means H1 means quite a large text. Just here I think this kind of the text is on H1 quite a large. This also okay below heading mainly on when we really need to write the any sort of the blog then the largest heading or blog heading text is the H1. Then spam means just dividing means just separating the thing. Okay, span means here on in place of that paragraph H1 then paragraph this H1 P and spam we generally use as text. Okay, in form of text also. So that's sort of the thing. And I think on um, React we generally use CSS, Tailwind CSS also mainly. Here we use on the React. I think uh, I have one React code base also. So after on tomorrow video, I'll show you about that React code base also, so you can understand about that. Then here, I think on React we use CSS file tailwind CSS like just like you see the here. Then extension means just dot CSS file will be on React. Like I think I already made one project on dot CSS. So here our CSS section will looks like this means style sheet dot create means we can create the CSS section within the same file also. So I'll show you about that the code also, so you can understand. So I'm just making application. So I'm just on the production level field. So here may be issue. So I'm making this kind of I'm sharing my code base so that you can see what kind of code I'm just trying you to explain. Means that style.css, tailwind CSS, that here we use um style sheet dot create means here you can see here code base also. This is quite different also. I also feel quite difference on React and React Native. So this is the thing. Then here also default is row means here your default view. I think you will have the row also. Then another on React Native that will be on column. Okay, so I'll show you about this. Okay, so React Web DOM means in I think you have heard about the CSS Flexbox also. So direction is row means item are arranged horizontally means that's what horizontal from left to right. Okay, we call from left to right, but on React Native it is generally vertically means from top to bottom like item one, item two. I think here is also same thing. Here item one, item two. You can see that thing here. See here that is the thing. Okay, so booking item means so here booking item one, two, three. Then that's how the information will be displayed. Okay, I'll show you about this. Then here style sheet means as I have already said you about the CSS layout also. So style sheet dot create then you can beginning you can begin style also just like this. Here is an example of that style sheet on React Native, like const style sheet that create here. This is on React Native. So I think I have displayed, I have showcased you previously also on this section. I think CSS section here. Just see here. So, but here is very different from React. Okay, React CSS also. We generally use. I'm also familiar with using this kind of CSS, but at the present time, I'm using this kind of CSS, like the title color, this will be on blue and font size should be on 20 pixels. So that's the thing. But I on the React Native it is quite different also, as I have already showcased you about this. So here I think I have made it clear about the CSS also. Then another thing is about the React DOM, as I have already said you about the paragraph, then heading, then spam also means it's a the semantic element, but all on React Native, all the text should be wrapped inside the text. So it is very mandatory that um, it is mandatory. So we have to write under the text. That's sort of the thing like this here. Here this is the heading text. Okay, this will be an heading. And if we really wants to make a heading on React, then we have to place H1, then on here also H1. So that's sort of the thing on text layout also. I have explained you about clearly about this also. Now container view also. So div container means, as you are also familiar with the div, and I think you have used also. So most common container is a div on here. So it is quite the generic block element that used to group the content, means you can group the content just by it. Okay, but React Native, it is just equivalent to view layout. Okay, so view layout we can see all the thing, unlike the div. Juliet, it is the fundamental building block on the React Native. Okay, so all of you got it my point. Okay, here also on document object also I already taught you about this. When we try to build the React for web, means your component usually render the HTML element like div, spam, paragraph. Okay, so these are the part of the browser. Means browser generally HTML, we have to use HTML for structure. So this is the thing. But on React Native, we don't need instead of HTML, React Native generally renders its native platform. So here Android.view means this is on React and this is on React Native. Okay, so there is quite different structure also. So that's sort of the thing, and I think most of the people they usually prefer. But Flutter also has a very large community support. At first Flutter is there, then the React Native. So I prefer the React Native because generally React, I have quite knowledge about the React and JavaScript also. So I usually I prefer about the React Native. So hope all of you understand something new about this video. I'm making this video so you can also clearly understand about this. Okay, have a great day.